Cycling solo can feel like freedom. It's a mini adventure on two wheels. Just you, the open road and your own thoughts. But that is of course until you puncture in the middle of nowhere, in the cold, in the wet, all alone.
Oh, you bastard!
Would it really be any better cycling in a group? Or is all you're doing simply swapping one set of annoying problems for another? I often feel that solo cycling and cycling in a group are almost two different activities. One is peaceful, controlled and completely on your terms, and the other is a chaotic, fast-moving event that's some kind of cross between a tough workout and a popularity contest. But which one is actually better? Should you embrace the solitude of solo rides or throw yourself into the glorious chaos of group cycling? Today I'm going to break down the pros and cons of each and hopefully give you a better insight about which one might suit you best or whether you might need both. At its best, cycling solo can feel like you're the headline act at your own personal music festival. But at its worst, you can end up feeling like that lone weirdo who's spazzed off his baps and still dancing hours after the music's stopped playing. The best thing about solo riding has to be the absolute freedom. You choose the route, the pace and the start time. There's no waiting around for people running late, no one pressuring you to go faster or slower, no debates, no compromises, no dramas. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you'll know that I do most of my rides solo. I do have people to ride with, but they tend to organise their rides obscenely early in the morning. I mean, we're talking like 9:30 start times. Unfortunately, I'm not a morning person, and if I can somehow manage to drag myself down there to join them, I'm usually still half asleep, slightly resentful, and generally not at my best. And then there's the route selection. They might fancy a big climb or a 100-kilometre epic when all I really want is a gentle spin to the cafe. Some days that challenge is exactly what I need. Other days it just turns into a bit of a slog. When you ride solo, you're the one calling the shots. There's no one there half-wheeling you because they want to ride faster. And if you do want to ride a little bit harder, you don't have to listen to someone, usually me, moaning because today was supposed to be an easy day. But here's the catch. Sometimes that total independence can make the ride feel much harder than it actually needs to be. And that's because there's nobody to draft behind and nobody to encourage you when your legs start to feel a little bit tired. Plus, it's also very easy to convince yourself that today should just be a recovery ride because, well, yesterday was also a recovery ride. Now, there's a reason why animals move in herds. Basically, it's safety in numbers. And if you've ever had a puncture 30 kilometers from home, and let's be honest, who hasn't, you'll know exactly why. Because when you're alone, that flat tyre miraculously transforms into a near life or death survival situation. The tyre is somehow welded to the rim, your pump is about as effective as a broken concertina, and suddenly you're Tom Hanks in Castaway wondering if you should give your inner tubes a name. Okay, so solo rides give you freedom, but sometimes that freedom comes with an unnecessary side of suffering. Do group rides solve that, or do they come with their own different yet equally annoying set of issues? If solo cycling is headlining a music festival, then taking part in a group ride can be a little bit like being a supporting actor in a fast-moving, chaotic soap opera. And that's because they're not just about cycling, they're equally about the personalities and the characters of the people taking part. So for instance, you might have the young, good-looking Bobby Ewing type, I'll mention no names here, or you might have that one rider that never takes a turn on the front, or you might have that Billy Big Bollocks type who's always pushing hard as if he's racing, or alternatively you might even have that drama queen type character who treats the groups as their own personal fan club. But don't let this put you off, because there are plenty of advantages to riding in a group. Firstly, it's a lot harder to bail on a ride if you know there are people waiting for you. If you struggle with motivation, this is probably the easiest hack to get you out of the door. If you're riding solo, the tiniest reason will be an excuse not to go out and ride. But if there's somebody waiting for you, I'm sure you'd rather wrestle an angry goose than let them down. And then of course there's the speed factor. Without doubt, riding in a group will make you faster, and I don't know if that's down to the magic of drafting or just sheer determination. I mean, nobody wants to be that poor sap struggling at the back now, do they? Plus, if you do have some kind of mechanical or a puncture, you're no longer in the wilderness all alone. You're with a group of people, and one of them at least will have a working pump and a set of weapons grade tyre levers. But the downside is that you'll also have an audience. I can almost guarantee that there will be at least 2 people giving a running commentary on how you're doing it wrong. A little bit like those 2 old fellas in the Muppet Show. And then there's group politics and rules. If you want to slow the ride down a bit or speed it up, well, that's probably not going to happen. The pace is the pace. Ever wondered why half-wheeling is a criminal offence? Well, you're not alone. And why does every easy group ride somehow end up in an all-out sprint, even though you were told it was only going to be an easy spin? At the end of the day, group rides are absolutely fantastic for things like motivation, speed, camaraderie, and good old-fashioned suffering together. But yeah, they do come with their own particular brand of chaos. So which is actually better? The best way to improve as a cyclist isn't choosing solo or group rides, it's knowing when to do what. In my experience, the trick here is to find the right people to ride with. So if you're riding with a group that's either too fast or too slow, or they just don't fit in with your cycling objectives, you are going to have a bad time. And that's because cycling isn't just a one-size-fits-all sport. You're going to want different things from it at different times. Think of it like dressing for the weather. If it's cold and wet outside, you're going to want a coat, and if it's warm and sunny, you would probably want things like shorts and t-shirts. And it's a similar thing when you're choosing group or solo cycling. So if you need to build endurance, mental toughness, or you just want to explore new routes, I would suggest going solo. But if you need motivation, speed work, or just some company to share the suffering, then join a group. Solo rides teach you toughness, group rides make you faster, and together they make you unstoppable. There's always something new that we can learn to make our cycling even better, and that's why I've created my own free monthly newsletter. If you'd like to sign up, I'll leave a link in the description below. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.